Hello, ladies and gentlemen. So today what we're going to do is we're going to calculate 28 divided by 6. Okay, we want to do 28 divided by 6. Okay, so remember that whenever we're doing a division problem, we want to ask ourselves, in this case, we want to do 28 divided by 6. So what we want to ask is, what is the largest multiple of 6 that is less than or equal to 28? Let me write that down. And so the way I want you to think about it is I want you to think the following, I want you to think in the following way. What is the greatest multiple of 6, which is less than or equal to 28? Okay? What is the greatest multiple of 6 that is less than or equal to 28? So let's count out our multiples of 6. Do it with me. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times 4 is 24. 6 times 5 is 30. Aha. We know that 6 times 4 is equal to 24. And we know that 6 times 5 is equal to 30. Okay? So when you think about this, you think, what is the greatest multiple of 6 that is less than or equal to 28? 24 is a multiple of 6 because 6 times 4 is 24, right? And it's less than 28. Okay, this is a possibility. 30 is a multiple of 6 because 6 times 5 is 30, but 30 is too big. It's bigger than 28. So we know that we cannot consider this one anymore. The answer will be 4. Okay? And you might say, well, David, 24 and 28, not the same number. You're absolutely right. So what does that tell us? That tells us that we have a remainder. So how do we find the remainder? Whoa, did I just say that? Oh my God, let me just fix my throat muscles here. Hello, does it work now? Hello, does it work now? Hello? Hello? Okay, I'm fixed now. Okay, I don't know what was going on there. I'm gonna have to call my laryngologist, the doctor that specializes in throat nose work, to fix my throat again. Nah, I'm just kidding. So as we were pointing out, we noticed that 6 times 4 equals 24, and that 24 is less than 28, right? So we know, what does that tell us? That tells us that we have a remainder. So I'm going to put my R there. R means remainder. And we ask, by how much does 28 exceed 24? By how much does 28 exceed 24? So let's calculate that. 28 minus 24 will tell us how much bigger 28 is than 24. So let's do it together. 8 minus 4 is 4, right? Because 4 plus 4 is 8. 2 minus 2 is 0, so we don't put it. And so that will be our remainder, 4. Okay? So 28 divided by 6 is 4, remainder 4. Now, right now I want to take the opportunity to redo this problem, but using the notation that we're going to be using again and again. I know I've shown this notation to you before, and this notation will allow us to do these both steps at the same time in an organized way. And again, I want to show it to you so that we can get used to this notation before we need to use it systematically. Okay? Okay, let's look at that together. Okay. So of course we already got our answer. That's fine, right? But so let's pretend we didn't know and that we wanted to use this notation that I'm going to show you again. So when we want to do 28 divided by 6, we place our 6 outside of the division house, which will be like this, okay? And we will place the number we want to divide by 6 inside the house, so 28 like this, okay? And so just as before, the thought process that goes through our brain is, how many times does 6, first of all, in this case, how many times does 6 go into 2? And we know it doesn't because 2 is too small. So we ask the question, how many times does 6 go into 28? Right? Let's either exactly into 28, like 6 times something equals 28, or 6 times something is less than 28. We, of course, already answered that question here with a 4. So we put our 4 there, and then we do 4 times 6, and that gives us the 24, which we place here. And then here we perform the subtraction. 8 minus 4 is the 4. 2 minus 2 is 0, right? Then we ask, does 6 go into 4? It doesn't. There's no other numbers here, so that will tell us that it's time to stop. And what you can see in this notation is that we did both steps at the same time. We found the maximum multiple, well, 4 is the number that gives us the maximum multiple of 6 that is less than or equal to 28. And we also found the remainder, which is down here, this 4. As we use this notation more and more in other problems that we're going to do later, you will see how this notation will be superior and we'll be using it more effectively. But I still want to show you the basic principle like we've been doing. That way you can understand what it means, and that way that you can understand how to think about division problems, okay? And now, just before we finish, I want to tell you ways that we could interpret our result so that we could apply it to a word problem, for example, or something like that. So for example, as we saw, we know that 28 divided by 6 is 4, remainder 4. What does that mean? So for example, what this means is that if we want to take 28 items, okay, we want to put 28 items into groups of 6 items, right? This is like what we might want to do. These items could be anything. They could be guests at a party. I have 28 guests and my tables sit 6 people, for example. Or these could be candies. I want to buy candies for my guests at a party. I have 28 candies and I want to put them in groups of 6 because I want to give 6 candies per bag of candy, right? And so what our result here tells us, for example, is that we will have 4 complete groups, okay? Right? That comes from this first number. And then we have 4 candies left over. Well, let's say it's candies, or let's use the more general term, the items. 4 items left over, okay? And this comes from the remainder, okay? Right? We have 4 complete groups of 6, and we have 4 items left over, okay? The first number, the number of complete groups, that's this number, the 4. 4 items left over, that comes from the remainder. I hope that you've enjoyed this explanation, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you so much. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you've enjoyed this video that you just finished watching. If you have found it to be of value, or if you liked it, whatever the case may be, you can like the video. You can subscribe to my channel so you can find all the other videos that I'm going to make in the future and that I already have, so that you can watch them for value, for enjoyment, whatever the case may be. If you want to watch a collection of my math videos that is in order, organized according to subject, and organized in terms of learning, in terms of a logical learning arrangement rather, I recommend davidsmathtutoring.com, where you can get access to them. And of course, if you just want to buy me a coffee because you thought that my video helped you out that much that it's worth a coffee or two, please, you can visit these sites where you can buy me a coffee. Okay? And on these 2 sites, you can also find some services that I might be able to offer you. In any case, I hope you enjoy this video, and